Dignity in work. Can very low-level work be dignified? Why shouldn't bosses exploit employees to maximize profit? Why shouldn't employees do as little as possible? Let's learn from Paul's teachings for first-century slaves and masters. But first, did Paul condone slavery? During Paul's time, slaves were servants by contract. It was not based on race, nor was it a permanent position. Slaves could own other slaves and properties. Many were war captives. In Ephesians 6, verses 5 through 9, Paul focuses on how slaves and masters should behave in such a social structure, not whether there should be such a structure. In fact, following Paul's teaching would end the slave system. Early churches were filled with slaves who worked in humiliating and painful environments. Paul treated them with respect, addressing them first. Paul told the slaves to obey and serve their masters wholeheartedly, as if they were serving the Lord, because the Lord would reward each one for the good they did. Then Paul said something totally against the norm. He told the masters to treat their slaves the same way. He also added that God wouldn't show favoritism to anyone. Before God, masters and slaves are equal, both made in His image and saved by grace, not works. Their status does not depend on their work, but rather on being God's children. Naturally, each should treat the other with respect and serve each other. God will reward them for the good they do. If bosses have such attitudes, they will treat their workers well, and workers will not only work when their bosses are around. Such attitudes would end the slavery structure during Paul's time. Centuries later, during the abolitionist movement, Christians vigorously pushed for abolishing a different type of slavery. As to the workers themselves, they are dignified no matter their rank. During the Reformation, Martin Luther argued that different types of work can all be callings from God. Milkman, housemaid, lumberjack, monk, or priest, all can enhance human flourishing. We are equal before God. Our status is based on being God's children. Our value comes from God, not our work. Both bosses and employees should respect and serve each other. God will reward the good work we do. All kinds of work can be dignified, as all can help people flourish. We hope you enjoyed that summary of a Tim Keller sermon. For more summaries like this, visit insightfulsermons.com.